In this video, we'll go over all the WoW news from the past week and try to compress it into a bite-sized video. The weekly event for this week is Bonus Battlegrounds. The Archaeology Bi-Weekly is for the Wormy Tumgens pet, which is actually pretty good. And next week will be the start of the Pilgrim's Bounty holiday. In other news, Classic Phase 2 launched last week, and with it, the new honor system, but no battlegrounds were added to the game yet. So the way to get honor is to basically go around killing enemy faction, and because of this, PvP servers on Classic, or so I've heard, have become kind of unplayable if you're on the lower population faction. Blizzard announced that with the new patch in live, they will be making lots of changes to pet battles. Basically, they're going to be buffing the Blizzard and Mudslide weather effects, where Blizzard will increase elemental damage abilities by 25%, and Mudslide will increase all critical strike damage by 25%. Currently, crit in pet battles only does about 150% damage, and this new crit damage will just increase that from 150 to 175%. They're also going to add a new weather effect called Toxic Fumes, which will increase the duration of all dots by 1 round, which is just kinda crazy. And it also considers all pets poisoned, which is just a status effect that does nothing on its own. It's just some abilities only work if the target is considered poisoned, so this will allow you to use those abilities. They also said they're going to change some of the damage coefficients so that a pet cannot stack its damage reduction to have a complete 100% less damage buff, giving them damage immunity. Instead, it can only go up to 75%, but the abilities that allow you to dodge are guaranteed to remain unaffected, as those are intended to give you damage immunity and are balanced around that fact. This is basically in place because some legendary pets can accidentally get 100% damage immunity when they stack their 50% damage reduction with their boss 50% damage reduction. And they also announced some future changes, which probably won't take place until the next expansion, because for those of you who don't know, Blizzard only balances pet battles at the end of the expansion during the pre-patch, unless it's an emergency situation where a new pet is ridiculously overpowered, like with the Direhorns or the 2017 BlizzCon Murky pet. And some of the proposed balance changes for the next expansion is to fix the Hermit Crab, who is straight up overpowered because they accidentally gave him too many stats, and changing how Hunting Party, Black Claw, and Shattered Defense work, as those are some of the most common ways pet battlers defeat PvE pet battles. They have given no indication of how they're going to change these yet, just that they plan on changing them. And now it's time for miscellaneous things. Just a reminder, the anniversary event AV Battleground is a really good way to level alts right now, with some people reporting being able to level from 110 to 120 in 3 hours, which is incredibly fast. A new item appeared on the PTR called the Gouge Eye of N'Zoth, which will add a socket to a seemingly any piece of gear. We don't know how you get these yet or how exactly they'll work, but this is a pretty important thing that should be noted. Alright, and it's time for the weather report with DevBot the Weatherbot. How's the weather out there?
You never realize how bumpy a car ride is until you try to write on a piece of paper during one.
Good one, DevBot. I'm sure that's very important information. Okay, and with that, I'll see you all next week.